Have a good day, Caribou. Got it.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. We got our coffee and cannabis. Prophet is on the road. 311 has some business to take
Personal
care
shit.
of, personal stuff, and so does Johnny. So it's just me and Prophet hanging out this morning. Buds is smoking is our man behind the screen today. So we're just hanging out. I'm going to be
Wait,
making
go back.
some Canna sugar, and we're going to make some gummies out of the can of sugar. I also have some oil to strain out and everything. And we might even get to the mushy closet. I've got some experiments going on. I got some stuff growing. So we're just going to have a
Oh boy.
all around show going on here. So cheers to the chat and the rest of the panels, and we'll get started on that can of sugar.
You know, it's a lot easier to get to the courthouse when they drive you there in the back seat.
You think so?
Yeah. Especially in like fucking a district that's got 5 fucking courts.
All right. It's always easier when somebody else drives you.
Yeah. I don't have to pay attention. I got a nice seat in the back seat. You know, that's usually how this goes.
But then you wouldn't have a
Unfortunately.
purpose for that nice vehicle you just got too. So, you know,
Listen,
perks
it's been
for
a
everything.
curse. All right, it's been a goddamn curse.
Oh,
But
so
the best part is I bought an SUV, so every other car, most of them are smaller than me, and I just kind of aggressively bully myself. All right, that's right. That's how I aggressively bully myself, motherfucker. I just go and jump in front of you.
I'm with you. I have a GMC Denali Envoy.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm with you. I'm always Kathy Bates from Fried Green Tomatoes. Tawanda, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Tawanda. I love that movie. Dude, that was one of my childhood
And I have
movies.
the full coverage insurance too. So let's do it.
Oh yeah.
So, in my pan, in my baking dish, I have 4 cups of white canister sugar. My oven is at 250. And I can't see my own camera, a nice big jar of tincture, Everclear with some flour. Oh, Lordy. Again, with the jars, I got to learn to have the husband loosen them before I get started.
Roll that seat back. You look like a...
So,
take a nap.
Good thing I got grippers. So we're just going to pour this over the sugar, and it's going to look like a nice wet pond, you know, beachy stuff. So pour that all in, and then I take a fork and I just stir it in real good, making sure everything is coated real well. I figured this morning I would take y'all and do the sugar, since this is my favorite way to infuse most of my foods. So just to kind of educate a little bit on the basics. And on the tincture part, hopefully next week, Prophet, we can talk about tincture and make up tincture and show different ways. Because I personally use a machine, Prophet does not. So I think it would be fun. And then we're going to stick this in the oven at 250 degrees. And we're going to come back in about 15 minutes to see where we're at. And we can do other stuff. The biggest key on this is you do not want to use a gas stove because the fumes, or if you spill any Everclear, you will have a flame. You will totally flame up your house and all of that. You also want to make sure, this is the danger, Real Rogers moment. Leave your oven cracked. Don't close it. Otherwise, you'll have a big release of fumes of Everclear when you open up your door, and you will get sick. You might even get a headache. And you could possibly, spark the bowl later and go kabooey. All my windows are open in the house. So, and I have fans going on, so we won't hopefully smell the house up too bad. But at least this the way I just want to prepare you. Leave your oven door cracked and don't use a gas stove unless you're profit. And then you just, throw caution to the wind and go for it, huh? Profit. Did he leave me? Maybe. He'll be back.
You decided to
So-
leave you in the
Right.
I'm really looking
So
forward.
what-
I'm very keen to see how you make your gummies because every time I've seen them, they just look so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited
that's
about
what we're going to do now. We are going to do the gummies, and I got green apple. Ooh, almost knocked my prep over. Green apple is my food flavoring. I guess I should cover up in case YouTube is being in a butt wipe. But we're not
never know.
I'm not a branding of anything. I personally go to the store or the Amazon. We'll go with the Amazon because I'm an Amazon shopper. And go that way. So in the pan, we have the 1/3 cup of water. In this cup, we have our 1/4 cup with 2 teaspoons of room temperature water. And it is green because of food coloring. That's what color I would like to make it. We have a 1/4 cup of potassium sorbate. I don't know where I was going with that, but it was not potassium sorbate. And a pinch of citric acid. These are for my shelf life. They help keep them longer. And then this is 24 grams of your gelatin mix. We also have 1 cup of Canna sugar. Again, what we're making up in the oven while we do this. So I'm going to turn the water on to get it boiling. We're going to add the food flavoring. I'm trying to find where the best way to put this cup at. Right there we go. We're going to add the food flavoring in to the water mix. I just like to have everything together because here in a moment, we're going to put the gelatin in here and let it bloom while our Canna syrup, I call it Canna syrup because it's basically making syrup with water and sugar. And then you add your gelatin to it. So while my water is heating, I'm going to throw in my potassium sorbate and citric acid. Oh, I need another fork. We're also going to throw in the gelatin into the color mixture and get that blooming. And yeah. So I am going to bring up this nifty little article that I've seen for Oklahoma. They're trying to change up a lot of, yes.
I am here listening, and if you need to bounce off me, I am off mute.
Oh.
So I'm with you, girl. I'm with
okay.
you.
Okay, you're back. I did ask something. I don't remember what I asked of you earlier, but whatever.
Yeah, I was in the courthouse.
It's all
I
good.
heard it.
Okay. So, my news article. I'm stoned already, y'all.
Lucky
While
you.
that's boiling. Because it's not, hey, you have to be an adult this morning and take care of a kid and drive around. I'm not envy at all.
No, but I'm devoted to the show, and I wasn't gonna fuck it. We had a few people that had to drop out, and I'm like, I could just get this done real quick and get on the show as soon as I get home. So this way here, you're not solo. So
Right. Well, my water is bubbling a little bit, so I'm gonna throw my can of sugar on there. But and why this melts? So last week we had criminals posing as law enforcement to rob dispensary or grows. which I was like, how the hell does that not happen? But that's some dedication. Um, so they had at least 6 individuals who posed as agents on the Oklahoma Marijuana Board. And they stole cannabis and cell phones from 2 different grow operations. They only have caught 1 individual so far. So I thought that was, kind of odd, only one. But they used search
Oh, whoa.
warrants, badges, uniforms to impersonate the state officials and demanded that apparent rule violations be paid immediately. I was just like, as many scams as there are out there, I cannot believe somebody didn't ask more questions or whatever. But there's a
Sounds
special
like an
place for
inside
people
job.
who, right? But it's still a special place for people like that because, it's just sad. But yeah, I'm and it happened out it says Woodward, so that would be the guy. I thought that was at first this town because we have a Woodward. So it was actually in Hughes County, which oh, that's Seminole. Oh, I'm just putting a location together. So that's probably about 2 hours away from me. So it's not too surprising because there are a lot of grows out there. But man, so my sugar is all dissolved in my water. You can kind of see in there. And we are now going to remove it from the heat. Ooh. Let's see. Slide the camera over. And we're going to add the gelatin mix to it. And as you can see, I almost dropped my fork. You can see that it is all bloomed. It's all, maybe if I put it in the camera, one big gelatin mess. Ooh, standing over the oven sucks though. You can smell the Everclear cooking in the morning. What a great way to start the day.
I love the smell of Everclear in the morning. It smells like victory.
Right? Oh Lord. Okay, sorry guys. That is choking me out a little bit. Let me go this way.
Paul's gonna be drunk by the end of this hour.
Right? Not stoned anymore, but drunk. Ooh-wee.
I got a statey behind me. I wonder if he wants to butt rape me.
So, Prophet, what's your favorite gummy flavor that you make with your bag of dicks?
I like to actually mess around with like the blue raspberry flavored, and I'll add like lime juice to it to kind of add a little tinge. If I want to make it sour, I'll add lemonade to whatever. The lime.
I was just fixing to ask you, have you ever made a really sour bag of dicks, like add the citric acid to the outside of them?
No, I never added citric acid, but I found just added 100% lemon juice, like how the one that's shaped like a lemon, and they have the lime juice that's shaped like a lime. Those are the ones that I aim for. So if I add, the recipe calls for half a cup of Canna oil, half a cup of, they say water, but I use 100% juice. So if I do one of those moves, it'll be a 50% ratio of 100%, say Palm Wonderful, okay? And then I'll add another half cup, quarter cup to with lime to add a little tinge to help blend with the flavor packet I pick. Or if I want to make them sour, I'll just use the lemon juice, and believe it or not, that's enough. I found personally, that's my personal, like, I don't want to be like, oh, all
right,
shit,
guys, I'm gonna strain this. Right. I accidentally one time made gummies way too sour, and what happened is I had added too much citric acid to them.
Yeah.
Like I added a whole like half a teaspoon of citric acid.
I played with citric acid once, and then I realized I should not coat my fucking gummies with citric acid because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, what you do is just put a little bit of it in some sugar and you coat them in like a sugar, citric acid sugar base,
Son of a bitch.
which
I was
is
supposed to
cool.
add sugar. That
Well, a
explains a
little
lot.
bit.
That explains a lot.
This is my dandy pour. I love it. So we're just going to squeeze it in the little molds. But that time that I made those super sour gummies, I felt like I had, first of all, it was worse than a sour patch for me because I was like, ooh, like I had made the whole bitter bear face. It was awful. Um, it almost brought me back to like the crybaby bubble gum for a minute. Whew.
Oh, I love that shit. Oh, the warheads.
So yes. So if you really want to make it super sour, like fuck some shit up, add some citric acid to that.
All right, so I'm gonna turn
these
you
are my
guys around.
little trees that I call my little O trees because they have like the mouth is O, and you know some people call them the little tiki torches or tiki
Hey
faces.
man, I've made women make that O face before.
Oh,
Exactly. Usually it's like you want to go shopping. Ooh.
Right. Or that's
Yeah,
that's how we
around.
are when we get seeds too. Is oh.
Yeah. So I turned my camera around just so you guys didn't have a pinpoint of where I'm at. But not like I really give a damn. Feel free to come for a visit. But since we're live on YouTube, it's not like we're in our own private area right now. So
I'm almost done, getting close to the end. I don't know if y'all can, but yeah, just pouring these guys out. Oh, Prophet, let's talk about that one article about the seizure. Do you remember much about it by any chance?
off the top of my head, all right. So those experiments mostly were done. These were done on mice, all right, obviously. And that they were isolating actual different types of compounds, CBD, CBG, THC, and they were determining as to like what is it, like the D5 receptors, and like they were talking about how they were isolating on one situation. So like
Cannabinoid.
no, it was the type of diagnosis of the treatment. So like it was personal isolation or something like that, or disassociation. So like if you're not comfortable in your own mind, this ain't body dysmorphic disorder. You don't want to change anything about your body, but you're not comfortable in your own head. They were talking about microdosing to activate all that stuff, and friggin' that it could actually change the neurological pathways and stop those receptors that actually produce said uh, issue. And they were talking about microdosing. I believe it was psilocybin, and that there may be a way that this could further bring on other ways, if because they mapped out the whole entire brain neurologically, showing what was going on, and they could see what compound was attacking what, like repairing, blocking. I guess it would be a blocking thing because it's a receptor. So they were talking about which receptors were blocked just under certain compounds and stuff, and that this could lead to a more isolated understanding of each compound and what they do, and that we would actually be able to tailor make extraction of compounds to treat whatever condition it is as they move on and figure it out, or us as a bunch of weed nerds and we figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We tend to be ahead of them, but
Right.
you know, because they need testing on mice. They need the testing on the mice. We're the mice. We test ourselves. So
I was just gonna say we need real people, but I mean I think there's some benefit to the whole psilocybin stuff. I mean, I've went down the rabbit hole. Oh shit! I gotta grab my cat before it gets in my weed and my computer. Shoot, Moose. Okay.
Stop that pussy.
Sorry. Right. Sorry, I looked over and the cat was in my chair fixing to jump on the keyboard and help assist and stuff. But real fast, I just took this out. As you've seen, I was mashing the sugar up against the sides. What I'm doing is you'll see as it cooks, there's a green ring and it's just sticky that sticks, you know, I want to call it's a hash oil that sticks up there. So I just like to make sure it gets all in the sugar. So I just get it all off. But you know, we are the mice. And I've gotten a couple of little mushy groups that we, you know, compare notes on what it does and how it does in different areas too. I mean, from Cali all the way over to, you know, like the other coastline. So, oh shit, I forgot to crack the oven again. Look at that. That's exactly how you fuck up and do some shit. Excellent. Let's take a hit of something. Agree. Well, that was fun. We've got that part done. I guess let's take a sip of coffee. I guess Prophet got in some trouble. He had to go turn off his stuff, but he'll be back. Oh, there he is.
For me? Yeah, and sorry, my girlfriend called. God damn it. People can't leave me alone for a fucking hour.
All right.
I'm home though, so I'll be jumping on the computer in a minute.
Hey, well, we're venturing down the mushy hallway right now to go take a peek at the experiments if I don't get caught on a bunch of stuff, because, you know, it's never easy. So I'm super excited about this, y'all. Like, I'm so proud of myself. Okay. So over here, we have the science experiment. Oh, let me move the light. Maybe that'll be helpful too. Go up one. All right. So science experiment and the little tubs. So the science experiment is, I want to know if the poo that it is grown in, I know I'm talking shit, makes a difference on the mushies. So we have chicken shit from my own backyard. We got the bat shit and we got the cow shit. So we're just going to see which shit grows the best mushies. In the back here on the shelf, we have the odd things around the house. So we have a hibiscus vase, a pill, a Pedialyte bottle, and I even went and got, where did it go? Down one. A cookie box, and gonna see what they grow in there. Let's see. Hopefully the kitty cat doesn't come down the hallway and we'll be all right. So we actually have some mushrooms that are blooming up in there. I'm excited. Got a lot of little things going on in there. There we go. These are the heroes. They are a mix between penis envies and Amazon. So exciting. We'll slide this down and we'll give you a peek into this tote. Bring it down because this is the wombats. So we're working on flush number 3 for these guys. Super excited to still have some mushies to come out of that run. And I get to show off these. These are new ones. I haven't grown this type before, but these ones are starting to pop up their little heads and become real mushies. So no more just mycelium. All gonna be a mushy tote full of mushies. It's exciting for me. And then
Looking good over there, Paula.
thank you, thank you. And then up here, this is grains that I need to put in some type of substrate today. I'll probably use a mix between cow and vermiculite. And I use the vermiculite just to give it some moisture holding ability. And then we have more grains up top. So the jars that I just showed you are golden teachers, along with all the new stuff that are in totes and fun little experiments. But we have the Halalutas and some Hawaiians still going. So that's the fun stuff other than the cannabis that I have going on. So it's been fun going down the mushy rabbit hole.
You seem to be having fun with it.
I love it. My next step to do is I want to do like agar. I got the malt extract to set up and do the, oh, that's my child's bedroom door, by the way. She collected stickers. But the agar, and I got the glass petri dish. So now I just need to set up and do the damn thing. So, Moose, I see you're back on the table. Time for you to go bye-bye again.
There's nothing wrong with the
So-
cat hair in your gummies.
Well, it's not really the cat hair on the gummies that I'm worried about. It's the cat going across my weed tray.
Oh. Oh, you're gonna be smoking weed like BP.
Oh, I know. I'm not
With hair
used to
in it.
having a cat yet. Okay. Well, I have dogs, and I have one that's like a husky Labrador mix. So he is always sheddy. Okay. While Prophet finished setting up at his house there, we're going to strain the olive oil that I have.
I'm just waiting for this cup of coffee, guys. It'll be done in,
Coffee.
like,
Every
2 minutes,
time
and I'll be
somebody
on the
says
computer.
coffee, do you know y'all remember the Dante's Peak and the little guy when Linda Hamilton brings the box coffee and he's working on the robot and he just goes crazy with coffee, 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 coffee. I feel like that every time somebody just says coffee, by the way.
I
With
feel
the
kind of
little
like
head
that.
bouncing back and forth.
It's like my spirit animal.
Right? I hope she likes strong Canna oil because I probably should have weighed and measured some stuff out, but you know, that's not my typical fashion. Totally
Since when is
not my
anything typical our fashion?
I know,
You
but
know how they have
looking
those,
at the color of this
curly hair
Canna oil,
dudes?
curly head dudes.
Well,
Which curly head dudes?
unorthodox. The curly hair
Oh,
Jews,
yeah.
they're known as Orthodox Jews. Well, we're a bit unorthodox when it comes to our cannabis.
I know I am. I just do it.
Oh,
I feel like the Nike
Do it.
sign. Just do it. The check mark.
that
Do
should be
it.
the new Nike
Do
shit.
it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, we could all get a song on Do It.
Grow cannabis. Just do it.
Mhm. I'm trying to get all the
All right,
sludge
let's
out
see
of the
if-
bottom of the machine here. So we can strain it. Oh, I forgot to put my gloves on. See, talk about
Oh
just do
no,
it.
that was contaminated.
I'm talking about to protect my
Hey.
pretty fingernails.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, honey. Yes. Put your gloves on.
That's what I was getting at, to protect my fingers. Mm, it'll be all right. So yeah, now we're just, oh, and I'd like to
Oh.
we're going to double bag things, by the way. So I'm using 2 of the bags for my kit. And I do that just so that I have less chance of getting the plant material in the final result. And again, this isn't for me, so I'm trying to make it as pretty as possible.
Uh-huh. Been there. I'm like, there goes all that medicinal, some of that medicinal property. But all right, you want a cleaner product? Sure.
Right. Everybody's got preferences.
Yeah, mine are just
So.
real low.
Mine are maybe not low, but definitely the fastest. How do I get it? Just give it to me.
Oh shit. I should ask it. Oh shit. Hold on.
Yeah, the
All right.
echo says, hold on. On.
Y'all just hold on and do what I'm doing. Sit tight. Enjoy the ride. Buy the ticket. Take the
Take a
ride.
dab. Take another dab this morning.
Well, then that'd be
Or
my first dab. I gotta catch
well,
up.
maybe the chat needs another dab.
I don't know. I've been on there. What's this going on with chat while you're mixing and straining?
Right? Like this is always the slowest part is straining the oil or whatever we're straining for the most part. But it's necessary.
I find the infusion to be the slowest part and then straining to be the bitch. But that's because I'm doing it old school and not with a machine.
Oh yeah, see. I do the machine. So literally I set this oil on this morning after I had my first cup of coffee. And while we were doing our little warming up this morning, it was beeping at me. And I was like, what the fuck is that noise? Oh yeah, I made oil. And yeah, so bam, oil is strained. We look pretty. So now I'm just going to let it finish cooling off a little bit and we'll heat it up. Not heat it up, bottle it up. Oh Lord, maybe I do need that dab now. So yeah, I think it turned out really well. Ooh, we probably should check on the sugar too while we're being all space cadets. So back over here. I know it's starting to cook off at a pretty good decent. I can smell the Everclear in the kitchen. Damn. All right. And it's all bubbly. It looks so pretty. Yeah, that works. So can y'all, yeah, y'all can see the green ring, other side, Paula, over here, that right there, that nice big thick green ring. We're just going to push the sugar up against it and scrape it off so it gets back into the Canna sugar instead of just cooking away on my pan. Oh, Lordy. Talk about a high of Everclear. Ooh-wee. I'm glad this is early. Oof. So, and then the next time we check this, it should be about time to worry about what it looks like on the bottom. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, it really depends on the moisture in the air. It might take us a little longer to get this all done. just because of how humid it is here. We have a big round of storms moving in later today, which is going to be fantastic to trip on. That's my plan for today, is take some of my mushies. Prophet, are you there? Did you get all set up?
Yeah, I caught up to chat real quick, and I'm here with you, Paula. Don't worry.
All right. Well, I couldn't see you. Any questions or anything in chat we need to know about? What are they talking about? Give me the tea.
Prophet's an asshole. He's a slacker. No, as far as questions right now, everybody's from what I can tell, I'm just trying to speed through really quick, but yeah.
We're all good. We're all good in the hood.
Yeah, I think you're explaining everything is pretty explanatory. You're doing a really good job.
Thanks. So now we're gonna go back in the oven, and I'm gonna tell myself to make sure and leave the oven cracked. Danger, real waters, danger. Like I think of that every time I put this in and out of the oven, even though mine's not gas.
Paul, I got a question from chat. It's from Hey Keeper, what's up, brother? He wants to know how much flour did Paula put in the tincture that's going into the sugar, and was it trim?
It was actually bud flour that went in, and it was 3 ounces to 3 cups. So it's an ounce of flour per cup of tincture or alcohol. Yeah. So it's a fairly stout alcohol tincture for sure. So it's the way we like it around here.
Now
Stout.
you only use can of sugar to make this, correct?
To make what? This
Your
what's in the
gummies.
oven right now?
Your gummies.
Oh, yes. That's the only infused part that I do is can of sugar.
Have you thought about can of oil also with the can of sugar? I mean, if you got a real
yes and no.
can of sugar one, then I mean, there's no reason to up it. But I was just curious.
Yes and no. What I have done, because I've had some people request like a 500 milligram gummy in my big Skeletors. What I did was add more sugar and reduce the amount of water. So therefore you get a stronger concentration point. So I don't really like using oil in the gummies. I have a hard time getting the texture right. So I'll just change the ratio of water to sugar if I want them stronger. So that's how I make my gummies stronger or less potent too. Is just reduce the amount of water to ratio sugar. Yeah. And they're already tacky. Usually the gummies will set up for me in about 2 hours sitting on the kitchen table. They're not, fully set up. And of course, with gummies that are made from scratch like this, the longer you can like give them like 24 to 48 hours, the texture gets stiffer over time, if that makes sense. I don't know why I'm talking with my hand like a Pac-Man, but that's what happened.
Are you Italian?
No.
Okay.
I really had to think about that. Like it brought back my whole family tree for a moment. I'm like, nope, I'm not at all Italian.
I swear I'm not Italian. So how much longer before your timing there?
We probably have another 30 minutes, to be real honest, on the sugar. So you're home now.
Why don't you pop out one of your articles?
Pop out one of your. Oh Lordy, I already did my Oklahoma one. Let's see what else I got over here.
Wait. You went first, and I went second. Now it's your turn. This is how we're passing the articles. Okay, pass that article to the left-hand side.
I know, but
Do you need me to
oh,
jump
there's the
in?
one that you did earlier. I'm just trying to get my brain together. I'm telling
All
you,
right,
these
all right.
fumes are kicking in this house, man.
Okay, you should have a fan running around if you don't have one, and a window open facing
Ah,
outward.
we have all the windows open and we have all the ceiling fans on.
And that's
It's
blowing
just
all that
fucking.
shit back down to your head level because that stuff's supposed to rise. You'd be better off cutting those off.
Oh, let's do this one. The medical marijuana could be sold independent pharmacies in New Jersey if
Oh,
Murphy administration approves. I like this one.
that
Sorry,
was
I
the
just
other one
needed a
I
moment to
added.
go over them.
That was the other one I added. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, I really like this one as far as like the pharmacies being allowed to do this because I mean 23 shops really is not a lot to have in any medical facility, you know, per se. And then if they allow the pharmacies, there are 834 independent drugstores. Um, Even if they just did independent drugstores, not including your Walgreens and CVS and all those other things, that would be an amount, a huge amount of places for people to be able to get their medicine, which should totally be allowed as a patient. Here, I don't have to worry about that because I got 3 dispensaries on one corner, you know, and it's like that on every street corner. Sorry, my dogs are being butt wipes. Um, I kind of understand maybe the squawk about it because, you know, it is a lot of work for a pharmacy who went to school, who did, you know, learn about the man-made drugs. But on the other hand of that, they should be used to weighing out things and measuring things. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm 50-50 on this. What's your thought, Prophet?
Double-edged sword. You're. I'm right with you there, but like anything that goes into a pharmaceutical, say, I don't want to get whacked, but like, CV and that last letter or wall blue. We're not gonna name out names. I don't want anybody fucking getting strike because I'm talking about different pharmacies. But even allowing that to go through, there has to be some type of regulation. They're gonna limit something because I would say everything in there is FDA approved, but the ironically is all the herbal medication in the herbal aisle is not FDA approved. So all your natural medicines that you're buying from the pharmacy are not FDA approved. So, granted the FDA doesn't like to, approve natural medicines. So it's like you're like, well, this one could be good, this one could be bad, but then after reading the melatonin stories that I've come up with, they're not regulated by the FDA. They're all natural, but people, after long term or heavy use of this, like say those of us that have tried gotten off of, uh, certain types of drugs and they can't sleep. That's part of the detox. They'll eat a bunch of fucking melatonin or whatever. And then when I started reading the melatonin, you have a 10-minute window where you can actually fall asleep in it. Anything after that's fucking pointless. Every pill that's stated is 49 to 480% stronger than labeled on the bottle, which means that the FDA isn't approving the regulations on melatonin. So you, after ingesting melatonin large amounts, you didn't even know it. It leads to a lot of psychological things that we're dealing with. How many of you are out there supplemented with melatonin? How many of you are dealing with depression, anxiety, even worse than you were before? Mood swings, shit like that. Moments of tiredness, moments of fucking insomnia. All this has been recorded to have possibly been brought by overuse of melatonin, which isn't regulated by the FDA, but is sold at pharmacy as natural medicine. And then when you get the term natural medicine in your mind, you're like, oh, it's all safe. But
Can
it's
we
not
just one
always.
second on the melatonin real fast before I forget about my man boobs that I have going on here? Do you know
Those are
there was a
beautiful.
study that showed that boy children who took a lot of melatonin as a child to go to sleep or help them go to sleep at night with develop man boobs early in teenage years. So
Is
shout
there
out
estrogen
to
in
man
there?
boobs.
I wonder if
To
there's
what?
estrogen. I wonder if there's estrogen in melatonin now.
Something to look into.
Yeah. And just like we were talking about, like infusing soy, infusing other things, like to help those, non-vegan, vegan people or gluten-free or anything else like that. Like we don't have to stick to the standard sugars. Right now, it's the beginning of our excursion, so we're gonna keep it basic like you wanted, but then maybe after 10, 15, 20 episodes, we can move into some more interesting things of like not talked about how to infuse, say, can we infuse soy? Can we infuse fucking whatever, baklava? Fucking, I don't know, I just threw that out there. Uh,
The list
anything.
is in
Yeah.
is long.
Let's see what molecule is in what that we can bond to. I mean,
Right?
I'm not a vegan or anything like that, but there are people that watch our show that would probably be interested in learning how to make edibles without animal byproducts in any way.
Well, I'm interested in learning how to some of this is because I have a couple of friends that are pretty much just have a sensitive stomach, so they physically can't have a lot of stuff. Um, but they like cannabis and they want the edibles. So I would love to help them out, figure out fun and new recipes that would help them be able to have their medicine the way they want it
Yeah.
too. And like the keto diet, like the keto is really big and stuff. And keto is like less carbs and more about your high protein items and things like that. But they eat a lot of salad. So I think, a salad dressing would be cool to make up, like we were talking about the other day.
That's when my syrup can come into play, depending on the flavor of vinaigrette you would like. You know what I'm saying? You could determine on what fruit you want to go with, because you know how they have like raspberry vinaigrette and all that other stuff. Like I could easily make that stuff. The only thing is I got to figure out because a vinaigrette obviously has vinegar in it, so I need to find out what's going on with the vinegar. I'm not 100% sure. Does the vinegar bond? Does the vinegar destroy? I mean, somebody on the panel might already know this, but no, I mean, in chat might already know this, but I haven't played with that part yet. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, we'll just add some of this or some of that. I got to figure it out first. And that's where me and you come into play, talking to each other and figuring out what we're doing on Mondays for you to bake.
For sure. All right, let's go check on this. Um,
I was just
oh
thinking
my
the same
damn
thing.
sugar. Because I was
Oh,
like,
yes, sure.
shit,
All
I
right.
forgot.
What do we got
All
for
right.
other stories lined up?
I had to get out of the kitchen itself, so I moved to the living room and left the camera. So I was double checking. Oh, these fumes! Like it gets really bad to the middle part of it. Like the beginning and middle is kind of rough, just because man, it is stout.
Yeah,
So
yeah. When I
if
make
you
my
have an
syrup,
outdoor kitchen, I really would almost recommend doing an outdoor kitchen.
see, it depends on the weather too, because like with my crock pot or whatever, so it's like I can do it indoors as long as I'm in a ventilated area. But if it ain't summer out and I bring it outside, it's slowing down the actual boiling temperature and taking 3 times longer because it's got to battle the temperatures outside
Right.
as
Well,
of
I
this
have a
season
nice
right
big
now.
patio, and I
Oh,
have
rub it in.
really this past year, I really have thought about throwing an oven out there, a stove, like a whole range.
Why
And fuck
haven't you?
this shit in the house. Oh, because I was busy doing other stuff.
Fair enough. If you stick a toaster oven out there, you don't even need the oven.
I know, but the toaster oven is so little, you can't do large amounts.
Man, find one a big one, and work a little
All
extra
right.
harder.
But we're finally getting to the easier part, so it'll start baking off a lot easier. It kind of reminds me of wet sand at this point. Like
Yep.
Like you could, I often find myself getting lost and trying to make little tincture bubbles or puddles. But anyways, we'll go back to news articles.
How much, real quick, how much sugar was that? I missed out.
4 cups of sugar to 3 cups of tincture.
Okay.
So back in the oven and door is cracked. So
Well,
back
we
to
have
the
a
seat.
veterans group called the Congress to allow medical marijuana access to obviously veterans. Another article we have floating around, motherfucker.
Yeah, I
Let's
really
see.
like this group to call on. They use a lot of support groups with a lot of initials. I'm too tongue tied to say them. But my husband is a veteran, and like they say, they can't even talk about their use of cannabis to their doctors, nor can they get it prescribed. So the treatments for chronic pain and PTSD are greatly appreciated points of views. Let's just talk about for my opinion, how many guys commit suicide after coming home because of the PTSD? I'm tongue tied as a motherfucker.
PTSD. It used to be known as shell shock.
I like the word shell shock better, but
It
that
makes
still
more
probably tongue
sense.
tied me.
It makes more sense, doesn't it?
So I think it's sad that our soldiers, oh my lord, prophet help.
It's sad that your soldiers have to suffer and not be able to get a medicine that can do wonders for them, but yet they have to go through all this fucking bullshit with pharmaceuticals and never mind that, but the way we treat our fucking veterans is it's piss poor. And I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care what side they're fucking on. It's because of these soldiers that you have a goddamn right to your opinion and to allow to fucking vote and hate and dislike whatever other group you want and your personal thing. And even dislike your government vocally. You know what I'm saying? Let me smack you dab into a socialism. You'll be grabbed up and dragged out and fucking forgotten about by your family. So you could bitch about, America sucks or whatever, but these motherfuckers fought and sacrificed and then they come back and motherfuckers that haven't left the fucking state are getting better treatment than our fucking soldiers. And that's burnt to me. All right. That's just foul. There should not be homeless soldiers on the fucking streets. There should not be those suffering from mental disabilities or psychological disabilities when they can be helped. You know what I'm saying? But they're ignored.
They
Which it
really
is.
are ignored by the VA system.
Yeah.
For like even my husband, like he can't get part of the new law in Oklahoma and with the VA is, pain pills, like any type of pain pills now, you only are allowed very little. And you have to have like a drug test to get them and everything else, which is ridiculous. Just allow him to have his marijuana and we wouldn't even have to have a lot of discussions. Even the article said that the testimony was where medical and the adult use cannabis is accessible, there is a reduction in opiate prescribing, opiate use, and opiate related overdose. So that right there just goes to prove that cannabis does help not have bad consequences to some of our soldiers who are dealing with things, whether it be pain, depression, just mood swings, or in general. And let's just talk about the shell shock of living in a barrack with a guy for how many guys, and then come home and try to have a family and a normal life. That in itself is stressful.
And then to be shunned by your own country because
Yeah.
the ones running their mouth don't know shit about anything. And aren't old enough to even know what struggling is, in my opinion. But it's it's messed up when you watch, like I said, you watch people that haven't put as much into the country be treated better and given more opportunity than those of us that have fought for our freedoms. And that really goes right up my craw, you know? Like, I don't know.
Almost, yeah, for
I'm
sure.
not military. I came from a military family, but I don't denounce. I just because it wasn't for me because I was raised that way doesn't mean that I don't respect anybody that's gone into it. Maybe fucking they weren't raised under a drill sergeant of a parent that was fresh out of boot camp and into the army and then into the ACI as a guard. So my experience with military is they can go fuck themselves. But those that have served and come back, and whatnot, I think deserve a lot more respect. You know what I'm saying? And they shouldn't be labeled as whatever. Like this labeling shit's going up my ass. Like there aren't any sides if people would realize it. We're all on the same side of the fence. It's the other people that are above us that are freaking making us divide and conquer each other. But
Mhm.
I don't think they were prepared for cannabis to actually bring so many different types of people together all over the goddamn world. They weren't ready for that.
Right. I mean, it is true. Cannabis brings a lot of people together of all walks of life, So and we're not all lazy potheads because come on, we're productive people. We do things. Maybe not so much you today. I'm pretty productive anyways. I feel productive until about noon and then I'm like, fuck it. It's time to be lazy and enjoy the day. Cheers. Mm. And I just realized the other reason why I'm tongue tied is that fucking weed that I'm smoking on this morning. So I mixed some Maui Wowie with some of Hype's weather wax that I cut down last week. And that shit makes me just not jittery, but like foam at the mouth talk. And therefore my brain is going faster than my mouth.
We're not going to judge you for that. It happens to us all.
Right.
You fit right in, Paula.
Let's see.
I had a question too, and I think I lost it after I did that dab. Shit. It'll come back. Damn. Go ahead, Paul. What do you got going on?
Sorry, man. Colton wanted to know, has anyone experienced anxiety-specific cultivars, THC versus CBD? And if anyone has answers, leave them in the comments.
Oh, yes. I have severe anxiety when it comes to some flower. What is it that my husband has? Sour cookies that he has over there. Jacks me up. It gives me like sativa. Yeah. It gives me like the walls close in. If the walls aren't closing in, I get some that just make me so jittery, that I'm just antsy and just can't sit still. CBD, I haven't experienced. Right. I haven't experienced a lot with CBD. I do know that I think most of Hypes is a 1-to-1 ratio. So I don't know. I don't know if that's it. The Weather Wax. It's one of his new ones.
It's a 1-to-1.
Yeah. So I really like how it makes my body feel. So I'm super excited to make the trim, the whole bag of trim that I have. We're going to make some tincture just with it. And I'm curious to see what the edibles do with it, to be real honest. So I really like the body high off of it. But man, it makes my brain go 90 to nothing. And that's all I can do.
I love to make my edibles mostly with 1-to-1 these days. It's just so much nicer. The body high and the head high, they just work together so nicely. And there's no anxiety from my side, because I do get that from sativas. I get stressed out and paranoid and want to hide under rocks and shit. But yeah, the 1-to-1s counteracts those effects beautifully.
That
With
1-to-1 is
edibles,
great.
man, you just feel great.
Great morning fucking smoke, you know.
Yeah, the whole day. It's a functional kind of thing.
Oh yeah, no, but it's good to not couch lock my ass too early in the morning, you know, because I'm usually a dominant guy, so you know I can do a 1-to-1 with this THC CBD thing and still be ambitious and get shit done. I'm feeling pretty good.
Right. Real
I
fast
can't do
at this
straight
point,
anytime.
guys, on this sugar, this is where I'm going to start worrying about getting the bottom of it real good. So I really want to make sure I'm getting to see through all the way at the bottom of the pan to make sure that I'm not getting any residue stuck to the bottom. And so this fuck, pardon my language, I know we don't care. This goddamn fucking weather's fucking with my cooking this morning. Stupid storms. But
No, we
anyways,
had all right, so we've talked about the epileptics of THC or CBD as they were trying it out or whatever, different compounds to do so. I've talked heavily on how I've literally stopped. It's only actually, nope, sorry, I hit white widow with it too. I've literally stopped the seizures with tinature, right? Just
yeah.
straight tinature, and it's in a matter of like 15 minutes. They're back to normal. They're high as a kite, but they're back to normal. You know what I'm saying? So there is definitely something to whether it's THC or the CBD. Usually I stick around the THC strain. Can't help it. But that doesn't mean that a CBD or a CBG that isn't like a can't be prescribed to a child as opposed to all these psychological drugs that they want to put them on and everything else. Like I am a firm believer that cannabis stops seizures almost in their tracks. And then if
Oh
you do a
yeah.
maintenance, like with my cat, I do it every 12 hours, dose him. He wouldn't have a seizure. If I missed a night, he would have it. He would probably have a seizure that night. I only missed 2 nights. I feel fucking horrible about it, but I pulled him out of it. But you know,
Well,
like
even those people that have the Parkinson's disease, the the really bad shakes and everything, they use the cannabis oils and tinctures and stuff to help settle
shakes.
their shakes and
Yep.
stuff. So, there's some good things. It looks like Kingfisher said, can you turn the temp down at this point in the evap? I guess you could, if you like at this point, if you really wanted to, you could actually just set this on the counter and let it evaporate the rest of the way out. There are people who do that. I don't personally, because I just am impatient.
Now cutting it short because we have to decarboxylate this material because putting it in, well, you're gonna bake with it, so I guess that doesn't count. So like people like me would be putting it in my coffee, not hot enough to give it a full decarboxylation. That's why when I make Canna coffee, I actually take decarboxylated material, mix it in with my can of coffee to my ratio, put it in my coffee pot because I already know it's been psychoactive and it just runs through because you can't just put fucking cannabis in the coffee pot and expect it to be psychoactive because it needs a certain amount of temp and time to burn off the acid. So freaking the my question would be like Kingfisher was like, can you let it evaporate at that point? Is that limiting the actual decarboxylation process without following it all the way through till the end because it's still under heat?
No, it's just because at this point you're just removing the alcohol. Like that's all we're doing at this point is just evaporating that the Everclear out of the system.
Right, but
Because
it's
I've already
going
decarbed the weed.
psychoactive due to temp.
Um, I don't know. I've never tried it to be honest. I know that I decarb my weed and then the machine also is heated a little bit as it's doing its grinding and whatnot. And then I just strain it out and use the tincture that way. And then as far as getting all of the alcohol off of the sugar is just my main goal.
Yeah.
So I've never really thought about, if it's killing, or not making anything as active or anything like that either.
So you're like
Nobody's
me.
ever.
You run it through the oven and chop it up, chop till that shit's done. It's in the oven, pulling out. And okay, yeah,
Right.
that's what I do.
But like you also say, when I do like Canna flour or like your coffee, you just use the decarb weed a little bit and then,
Right.
of that nature.
But anytime you
So
bake
I do.
anything, even if it's not decarbed, if you're baking brownies or whatever, the oven will bring it to decarb.
Yes, but the part I was always taught the whole purpose of decarbing is to get rid of the plant taste, the
No,
chlorophyll
it's to get rid
taste.
of the acid and transfer it to THC psychoactive. Because if it's
Oh, we're
THCA,
gonna
it's not
have to do it.
psychoactive. You have to get rid of the acid.
Ah, uh, I'm gonna have to disagree with this a little bit. I'm not disagreeing with what you have to say about it, but I'm just telling you right now, if you don't fucking decarb that weed somewhat, you get the god awful plant taste like you can't get it rid of with the fucking cat ass, okay? Like it's disgusting, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, because a wad of fucking RSO is the most delicious thing in the goddamn world.
I don't really do the RSO
Okay.
either, so I don't. You remember? I like to cook with cannabis that doesn't taste like cannabis.
I know, I know, I know.
So I have a really hard time with that with plant taste. So I'm gonna decarb, and I'm gonna say that decarbing is removing chlorophyll, the plant taste, that green taste. And if you have you ever noticed when you decarb, have you decarbed trim, like the actual fan leaves with some trichomes and versus like decarbing your bud and then make tincture out of it? Have you ever noticed the color change?
Yes.
Like the one with a lot of
I know.
fan leaves is like neon green, like the background, and the other one is kind of like that olive green.
Yes, I have noticed that. See, and decarb, not decarb, it all depends on what you're doing, I guess. You know what I'm saying? If you're taking that sugar and you're sticking it right in your coffee, if it's good for you, word, because you actually decarb it all the way through because you run it through the oven the whole time. Right? Like I said, a cup of coffee is not going to decarb shit. Neither is running it through the coffee maker. It's not going to decarb shit. So if you're looking for that, then you need to decarb your material fully to be able to add it into something that isn't going to be brought up to temperature. But you have mixed feelings about the alcohol burn off or whatever. That's how you feel. I noticed everybody is a little different. You know what I'm saying? The metabolisms, their endocannabinoid systems, and shit like that. You give me an edible, I'm probably going to cash out for the rest of the day. Some people can eat edibles and keep it going. Some people eat edibles and don't feel shit. I can do
Right.
bong rips and fucking dabs all day. People will be sleeping, but I'm functioning, Like it all depends on how it hits you and how you want your high because this is your medicine and it really comes down to personal preference when you're making your own.
Right. But I would say though, I do feel that like can of sugar versus like can of flour and like because it's two different processes, first of all. Like you're just using decarb flour in your flour, like your baking flour, and then you have the Canna sugar that's been processed a little bit more. I do feel that there are two different types of, I guess, body effects off of that per se, or maybe highs. So I do kind of like using a mixture of stuff. That's the other reason why I like doing the meals, is because you can use all the different techniques when you cook. So we're just stirring again. We're making sure again to get the bottom. And man, this humidity's killing me. So what I'm probably going to do is just get out the bucket, my can of sugar bucket, because realistically, I got probably another 40 minutes of this, because this is not going anywhere in this damp weather. So we will just show you what the end result is, because I'm just continue pulling it out and stirring it until it is all dry and it looks just like the sugar that I did in the gummies earlier. Ooh, I could probably take a gummy out and do a gummy. I think they're ready. Yeah. So it does kind of get a little packed in here. I have tried to use like a cracker or anything to absorb moisture per se, but it's not moisture that's in here. It is how oily the sugar actually is. When you take this sugar and dissolve it into warm water and let the water cool off, you get that same green ring on just about anything. So
It almost seems like brown sugar when you sent it to me, like because of how sticky it was.
Brown
But
sugar is way darker, by the way. Ha ha ha. So
it just reminded me, you know how when you grab a bag of brown sugar compared to granulated sugar?
right.
Oh, look at that.
So
Yep.
this is brown sugar that I did. This is not as strong as brown sugar as this one, but yeah, it's pretty right on too. So it's still lighter, but you know. Oh, but what I was gonna say too, this process of the Canna sugar, you can totally do it in your brown sugar. You can do, we've done it in salt. I have done it with some stevia. It doesn't work out the best in the stevia, but it is doable. Just in this particular method, you know, your tincture into a granule substance.
Now, have you ever tried? Because when I made can of sugar, I only made a little bit back in the day, but I had an idea. You know how you had them lollipops that are made from melted down sugar? Could we infuse that and make lollipops? We
Yeah.
obviously have to let it cool because the melting point of fucking sugar is like napalm, ain't it?
Yeah, basically I mean, you just make hard candy with on a stick. That's
Yeah.
that's all it is. So you're going to use your water, your can of sugar, some corn syrup. I don't know if there's anything else in hard candy. I used to make an old fashioned hard candy where you just make a big sheet of candy and you
Yep.
drop it and you have shards.
What about a thermometer? Do you keep a thermometer in that thing?
Yeah, you got to have a candy because it's like 220, 230, some shit like that.
Okay, so it's still safe within the cannabis range without
Yeah.
vaporization. Okay, that's what I was
Yeah.
curious about. I've touched melted sugar before, and it felt real fucking bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it gets super hot. And you know, and the longer you let it cool, the stringier it gets.
Yep,
So when you're working with hard candy, you have to be quick.
fast. Yes.
Yeah, super fast. Yeah, so that's, but I mean, candy making is fun. So
Yeah.
but you know, I enjoy doing it all, to be real honest. It's all fun. Um I can't wait though. I am excited to get back to basics, to share everybody how to make different, make your oils and everything. And then, like you said, dive deep into special recipes. So chat, if you're, please give me a recipe, drop them in the inbox, drop them off a Caribou, wherever, find me. Help me come up with fun, creative recipes that we want to see. I'm down for a challenge.
And we're also down for an infusion off. She's gonna use her fancy machine, and then I'm gonna go the old school way and show you guys how to do it that way. So, we were debating on possibly going a back and forth type of thing like that. Did I imagine that? Or was that right?
Nope. We totally are going to have an infusion off. Like I need you to get all your stuff together and let me know when you're ready, because I'm always ready. I'm down.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down with that. Like I said, I need a little more prep than you, and mine takes a little bit longer. So, like, I'm gonna have to do what you did with the cheesecake. I'm gonna have to have my done shit and then show you the process to show you the done shit rather than waiting 8 hours, 9 hours, So,
Right.
But I'll show the process of how I do it, and then I'll show the end product. So we're not sitting here waiting for it to cool down, for me to separate it, for me to put it in the fridge, for me to strain it, for me to make it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have the, just like you, end product, and then I'll show you really quick, and then we could avoid the long fucking, depending on what we're making. You know what I'm saying? I can show you other ways to make coconut oil, because I happen to have a centrifuge heating plate. You know what I'm saying? And that only takes like 2 hours for it to boil, to cook out the acid. So, and that's how I make my gummies and brownies. So it's like, we have two different styles. We could show those of us that don't have fancy material that decided not to buy it for some odd reason, and
Ooh,
those of us that
we
do
should
have it.
make Johnny join the infuse off too, because he likes to do all these infusions too.
That's true. Dude.
He just doesn't know it yet.
Friggin' Abolish would like to know from you, Paula, a guide on how to properly make, guide on how to the tiramisu properly. Eat the tiramisu properly.
All right. Let me do some research, and after we get done with our basics, Abolish, I'll come back to that. I'm a matter of fact, we'll
gotta be tomorrow's show.
Note that on a piece of paper.
Yep. You can post up the fucking thing. Wait till Monday. Actually, Abolish, you gotta wait till next Monday to find out how to make it. Just so you have to come back.
Well, is it next Monday? If we go to basis, I'm not making a tiramisu on Monday.
Well, you could post the recipe.
Oh, the recipe, most definitely. I'll get the recipe down. We'll find that. No problem. But actually making the tiramisu, we'll have to wait a minute.
No. He'll have to rewatch the previous episode.
he'll have to come back weekly just to find out. Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off here for the morning. Like I said, the sugar's probably got another 30 to 40 minutes. The stupid weather coming in, it sucks, but can't, like the Outcast song, you can plan and picnic, but you can't predict the weather type thing.
Yep.
So
I don't want to meet your daddy. I just want you in my caddy.
Hey, are we gonna have karaoke moments now?
Hey,
I'm not a singer. Hey, yeah. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy. And we'll talk to y'all next. Oh, tomorrow. We got tomorrow's show. So come back and see everybody's grow, what's going on. And we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Like, subscribe, share, dislike, and feel free to drop me the finger anytime you want. I'm in direct messages by all, or do it now. Yep, I'll take them all. Save some for me tomorrow, Paula. All right, don't go using them all up. I don't want all your fucks gone.
I have two hands. There'll be one tomorrow.
Ooh. All right, cool. Back up. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, dislike. And we will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, and we will be showing more of our grow off that we got going on and whatnot, and some news here and there to fill in some space of in between, or maybe Paul will be doing something in her mad kitchen. Who knows? Either way, we got some cannabis talk. We got some articles going on. No matter what, we'll keep you as entertained as possible. Even if I gotta start like taking clothes off to make you guys like put likes on to make me stop taking my clothes off. See, Paul's already started, so I mean, don't make me. Don't make me. All right. Love you, chat. I wish I could have been more involved with you guys, but I've been, as you can tell, I was riding around, but I wanted to be here. Panel, thanks for the patience. I know I was running around like a madman. And Paula, you did a great job. You carried most of this show. And Buds, appreciate throwing us out there with the things of information and South Nelson. You guys rock his back up. I think I have nothing else to say if anybody else wants to jump in.
It's all good, man. The show is it's a lot of fun every Monday. Enjoy hanging out with these people. I don't like to show my face too much because I end up looking at it and I can't stand it.
Oh my God, you have such a wonderful face, Buds.
Oh, but I don't. It's all good, man.
You don't want us to recognize you on OnlyFans. That's what it is. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want you guys to recognize me. That's the problem. Cool. Cheers, everyone.